5-Minute Pearls for Clinical Practice. This week's pearl is called Take a Look at Yourself. Hello, this is Dr. Brian Morris, and this is 5-Minute Pearls for Clinical Practice, where you will learn the tools to provide exceptional care for your patients. This is the weekly podcast where you will be introduced to time-tested, evidence-based patient care strategies that aren't always taught in schools or training programs, but are nonetheless crucial for success in clinical practice. And each podcast episode is about 5 minutes. When I was a second-year resident at Yale, my training program hired a group to videotape each of the residents' office visits with patients and then work with all of us to improve our clinical skills. This was an educational opportunity that our residency program had formulated that they thought would be helpful for the residents as part of our training. The patients were told about the training exercise, and they agreed to participate. Initially, I was quite cynical that this would be helpful, but watching myself and all of the other residents interact with patients was amazingly helpful. No one is fully aware of how we present ourselves to the world, so I found it very instructive to watch myself interact with patients. In my case, I learned several things. First of all, I tended to shake my head yes a lot. So I would shake my head up and down a lot when I was listening to patients. I guess this was sort of a nervous reaction, and I was trying to encourage my patients to keep talking. But from a patient's perspective, it was quite distracting. So immediately, I stopped shaking my head up and down when listening to patients. But I never would have known about this had I not watched myself interact with patients. Second, like a lot of people, I used to say, a lot. You probably have friends or family that say, a lot, and I was one of those people who used to say, a lot. I was truly unaware of just how often I did this with patients, but after watching the video, I decided that I was going to stop saying that, and I have pretty much completely stopped saying, since then. By studying these videos, I was able to become aware of several habits of mine that I hadn't been truly aware of, and once I was aware of these habits, I quickly stopped them. Can you find a way to observe yourself with patients or have someone else observe you? Certainly patients need to be made aware if you're observing them for educational purposes, but finding a way to observe yourself interact with patients can be amazingly helpful. Another option is to ask your patients for feedback about office visits. This is usually best done through a short, anonymous patient questionnaire after the visit. However you do it, it is extremely helpful to observe yourself interact with patients or to get feedback from your patients to find habits that you might need to adjust over time. None of us are perfect, and being open to such direct observation can go a long way to improving our interactions with patients. Humility is the key here. Be humble and be open to how we can improve our clinical skills and give our patients the best possible care. Let's keep the dialogue going. Let me know what you think of this week's Pearl for Clinical Practice. You can email me at drmorris@5minutemd.com. That's DRMORRIS at 5minutemd.com. You can post your comments and your experiences on the 5-Minute MD Facebook page. You can follow us on Twitter at BrianMorrisMD. And you can visit us anytime on our website, 5minutemd.com. Let your friends and your colleagues know about the podcast and make sure that you are subscribed on iTunes. When you are subscribed on iTunes, you will receive new podcast pearls as soon as they are posted. And if you have a few minutes and you enjoy what we're doing here on this podcast, please head over to iTunes and leave us a review. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you at the next 5.